Wagwan, bienvenida, que bola, E-I-E, best friends. Welcome, Black is for expansion of our subconscious mind. I am a real journey in these social media streets for those of you who are new. On my channel, I like to talk about self-love, but have a higher vibrational conversation about it in regards to twin flames and soul ties. But when it comes to my channel, I don't talk about your relationship with others. It's more so your twin flame and your soul ties to yourself, because at the end of the day, we are a soul that came here to have a physical experience. I was about to say to have a hearing. Like we're energetic beings, and self-reflections of the Most High, regardless of how you relate to that word, rather you say God, divine, universe, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, you're talking about the creator of everything. And it's like a hearing, which is why I titled this video, You're Being Uprooted. Because today, the self-love message that I got from the House of Cancer as we're leaving the universal collective sixth chakra is the fact that to be more mindful of your the emotions you're investing in, or but more from a physical perspective, pay more attention to the relationships you're investing in that's outside of you. Because at the end of the day, life is everything we experience is just a self-reflection of what's going on within us. When you think about the purpose and the energy of Gemini, which we're still leaving the house of Gemini, it's all to raise our discernment. So overall, the highest message I got today was in regards to self-love, was more so pay attention to your emotions, for one. Pay attention to the relationships outside of you, for second, because at the end of the day, they're all a reflection of where you are at, where you're emotionally rooted. Because remember, feelings and emotions are a little bit different. They go hand in hand. Your feelings is you feel things in order to understand the emotional roots. Catch my vibes? When you literally look up the word emotions, it's all about it mentions intuition. That I do remember. So feelings is ultimately our self-internal way to get to the root of why we feel the way we feel, therefore why we react and respond the way we feel. So that way you can do better for yourself. Not really so much like do better for yourself and others in a healthy boundary type of way, but just do better for yourself. And I'm seeing not more so in just a physical way as far as finances, but because the world is elevating, literally energetically. When last year, a lot of people that I watched on their spiritual channels, they were talking about literally portals opening and seeing portals opening, or hearing people talk about portals opening and how we're, from an energetic perspective, the world is going to a higher dimension. And I can honestly understand, because I didn't really fully understand it at that time, but I could understand it more, I should say, than I did last year, because that's what Cancer energy is all about. It's about you coming out of your hermit mode and moving in a different dimension so you can elevate. I don't know why. Sorry, I got kind of off track with that one message. But ultimately today, the self-love message from the House of Cancer is all about you paying attention to your feelings more so. And also I'm seeing more we're being pushed to sit with ourselves more, as opposed to trying to learn from other people. I mean, it's good and it's fine for the time being. Like, if that's where you're at, that's where you're at, I'm hearing. But for the most part, I'm hearing eventually you got to let go. You have to let go of those, I'm hearing coat strings, like being in other people's shadows, because everybody's here for a reason. Everybody's here for their own personal purpose, not just from a physical perspective, but once again, from your soul perspective. So you have to be mindful of what you're mirroring and why, is what I'm hearing. Because today is the 4th day in Cancer. So it's more so, it's a lot of Emperor energy coming through to me today. And Emperor energy is always about you realizing and acknowledging thyself. And you can't do that if you're focused more so on what other people are doing to better their lives. If you are letting that outshine what you're actually doing. Like, you catch my vibes. I hope I'm explaining that right. Like, you're focused on, okay, what did this person do? Like, everybody's on, it's always going to find somebody that's on the same journey of them. For example, as far as like losing weight, they have so many commercials about these detox drinks and this, that, and the third, going out here and all these different foods. To be honest, I mean, you have to figure out what you need for you, right? Because just because it worked for the goose, I heard, like, just because it's good for the goose doesn't mean it's good for the gander, or however that saying goes, something like that. And I'm also hearing that a lot of people's like third eye is heightening, because I just remembered that I saw a dragonfly today, and dragonflies, they're blind, but yet they have the most acute sense of direction. So a lot of people's self-navigation, aka your intuition abilities, are going to be heightened today moving forward. But that's only to impart how much you understand about yourself, because remember, everything is a two-way street, or like I'm seeing a double-edged sword, because I see a lot of people doing tarot readings and stuff, respectfully saying, not throwing no shade to anybody, but a lot of people have to realize, when you listen to tarot readings, or if you just get advice from others, at the end of the day, you have to also discern who you are and where you are at in your life. Because just because you get advice from anybody, or somebody says, "Ooh, I see this about you," and it's so positive, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's where you're at. Like, you're there, you're at that point yet. Because, and I'm bringing this up because when I first got into the spiritual concept, and just I'm trying to understand myself, my spirit, my energy, and learn more about myself, not just from a physical perspective, but from my soul perspective. And when I got to the point where I first started off watching a lot of videos with about spirituality, when it came to like breathing, hand mantras, learning about the chakras. Those were like my introduction videos. Then slowly I started watching tarot videos, and a lot of the videos were saying, "Oh, you have abundance on the way, you have abundance." Like, I was drawn to that, because at the end of the day, who does not want abundance on the way? And then when it was like, "Oh, I'm seeing it come in 3 months or 2 weeks," and stuff like that, like they'll say a time frame, and I was like, so of course, me being me, you have to realize that we are all children in energetically speaking. We want to believe that, because at the end of the day, once again, who does not want abundance coming their way? So when those time frames came and passed, it was like, what the fuck? They don't know what they talking about. I would get like literally pissed, not really at them to a certain point, but it was like, I really wanted that abundance. I was drawn to that message. I want that abundance, and where is it at? It didn't come. So I was just mad at the situation. Like, what the fuck? So slowly, as I'm started to mature more in spirit, and not just in physically in age, I realized that, hey, everything is a two-way street. Just because you hear something and you learned something doesn't mean you're honestly there. Just because you want something and you can't push it, you can't force it to happen. You know, those are emperor energies, realizing where you are at, understanding who you are presently, so that way you can speak more life into who you are wanting to become, as far as a better, healthier version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, once again, I keep saying that, and when I say day, I'm talking about consciousness. Like, at the end of your conscious journey, meaning your goals and your dreams and your self-inspiration and aspiration, you always have to remember that it's you who got you there. It's you who got you to where you are now. And it's also you predominantly, no matter who else was in it to win it with you. At the end of the day, it took you. Everybody else is just accessories, respectfully saying, on your journey. So just remember that. Tarot card reading I got was the 13 Death card in reverse, and also Swords, 5 of Swords in reverse. To me, that's when I see things coming in reverse, that just means that you are either calling this in, or you're already in the thick of it, especially when it comes to 5 of Swords. 5 energy is all about Hierophant energy, self-belief systems, and with that coming, this gives me South Node energy, meaning you're not mentally, just physically, you're mentally and also physically calling this in, like a change in a higher belief system. And you're very close to it with the 13 of the Death card coming out in reverse, because you've already either mentally and emotionally, you're so focused on achieving some type of goal, or just getting past a certain lesson or challenge in your life, that you've actually rooted yourself, because that's what one energy is about. It's all about starting a journey, but you have to also understand that in every journey you have to educate yourself as far as what you need in order for you to continue in a healthy way, and to continue in a healthier way, so that way you could keep, I'm hearing the word, chugging along. Also, I got the message in reverse from my oracle deck, and it says, I don't know if y'all can see this, but it says connected with past loved ones. When I think about this, when I say past loved ones, I'm not talking about like deceased like family members or friends or whoever you connect to outside of the Most High, you know, the creator of everything. When I talk about loved ones, I'm talking about your past lives, your own self, personal, your soul's past journeys, and the reason why you are here in human form as you are, because of the simple fact that, respectfully saying, you know, I used to be big into like ancestry work and deity work and stuff. I'm not gonna say big, but I did get into it. But at some point in time, I realized, like, hey, we all have the same source and resource, meaning the Most High, the creator of everything. So why would I go ask them for their input on what I need to do when they're, respectfully saying, dead? You know, obviously they didn't fulfill all of their contracts in some type of way, shape, or form. They didn't, in order for them to, like, what lessons can I learn? Like, of course you can always learn from other people, but I'm seeing, like, at the end of the day, you're here more for, it's kind of given what I mentioned earlier. That's what I'm getting to. It's given what I mentioned earlier, as far as people, as far as us seeking confirmations and affirmations from other people, or guidance from other people, and we lean on those people. We take their words as if it's the Bible kind of vibes. I guess that's why I mentioned what I mentioned earlier. And so ultimately, and I'm gonna end it here, what I'm getting, the biggest message is that it is, like I said, pay attention to your feelings and where those feelings are leading you intuitively, meaning internally, because it's something that you're being uprooted from. So that way you can discern, you know, especially with us universally, collectively, as a mass, being pushed out of our own individual aspects of how we discern life, how we discern ourselves, our own self-guiding systems, and pushing us ultimately in our own individual paths of just understanding yourself better in a healthier way, especially with today being 24. 24 is all about like, I'm getting Emperor Empress vibes. And when I say Empress, I know traditionally people don't look at the Empress. The second card of tarot is not the Empress card, it's the High Priestess card. But a long time ago, my higher self told me to switch it around, because the Empress is, the second card is really the Empress card in my world. Don't shoot me, I'm just going following my soul's vibe and stuff. But because that's the only card in tarot that has two elements, air and earth. So it's all about your thoughts and and what you choose to bring down. And then the fourth card, as you already know, because you definitely into tarot if you're watching videos like this, is the Empress card. So us being in the year of 2024, to me, is always about, okay, self-judgment, because the 20th card is all about judgment. Self-judgment of the contracts that you choose to bring down, type of vibes that you choose to embody. Like, do you realize how you are connecting to other people, and how you are allowing other people to connect to you emotionally? All right, that's all.